author and broadcaster Christine Hamilton, and also broadcaster and journalist Danny Kelly. Right, so I'm going to start with you, Christine, because Danny's laughing too much. You like the fart in the space.
It's the fart in the
He did, yes.
I enjoyed it, but what makes me laugh even more was Christine's reaction. It was like, what?
Well, I was trying to... don't go there.
You were trying to imagine it, weren't you?
Christine, what do you think? I mean...
About Andrew?
Andrew. I mean, of course, he has denied all allegations to any of this.
I was just going to say, we have to remember that Andrew is innocent. He has not been proven guilty of anything. It may look unfortunate, but do you know, to be perfectly honest, I would far rather, if it gets written, read a book of Andrew's than I would to read Harry's. I couldn't give a damn about Harry's. I've never read Spare and I've no interest in reading it. I would be more interested, I think, to read Andrew's version. And I think, why shouldn't he write his version? And especially if he has been cut off in all this way financially. He won't make a vast amount, but I expect there'll be quite a reasonable market for it. So, frankly, why not?
A lot of the publishers won't touch it, though, because the association...
You're obviously damned against him. I could tell that from your monologue.
I don't know, actually. No, I don't know.
I would read his before I'd read Harry's.
I think I'd probably do that.
Yeah.
You're right to qualify the fact that he is innocent.
Yeah.
The only thing he's guilty of is giving a complete stranger about 11 million quid who he's never met.
To spare his mum. Come on, look at the circumstances. I'm not defending him, but you...
No, look, you're right. Innocent until proven guilty. And to spare... I get
his mum.
I get all of that. I disagree with you both, though. I think that there would be publishers queuing around the block. And, Nana, you and I agree on everything, mostly.
No, we don't. We never agree on anything.
He's lying. He'll get...
I was being sarcastic.
He'll get a publisher.
Of course he will. And he'll get an upfront payment, Nana. Believe me, this is a capitalist society.
You were being so sarcastic about him.
Do you think?
Yes, I do. You were...
But, yes, I mean, the thing is, also, what I didn't remember, Nana, is the fact that his networking with Jeffrey Epstein and all of those other dodgy characters superseded, was more important than what he'd actually done or what he was accused of doing. And that was rather inappropriate to say, well, look, I don't like to ditch my friends. It opened doors for me. But you need to remember what this guy Epstein was. He was a monster.
Well, what it does is kind of show his moral compass. If you know about some of the awful things that this person has done, then to associate yourself with that person, but to ignore those things may make people think badly of you or think differently of you. And that is the thing. But you have to respect that sometimes people judge you based on the company that you keep.
Of course they do, but you say his moral compass. Also, I think it probably shows his thickitude.
Do you think?
He just didn't think it through. I mean, anybody with an ounce of sense would have said, yes, of course I regret it. But he just didn't see that that's what he had to do.
But even when, like it said, that he regretted it, but he didn't regret the friendship.
No, I know.
See, so therefore he's now informed of the information. He has it in front of him, and then he's still saying that he doesn't regret the friendship because it opened doors for him.
Yes, but I just think
that's a bit...
All of this regal, dirty laundry being aired in public is brilliant. I love it. The more the merrier. I'd like Camilla to write a book.
Camilla has. Angela Levin wrote a biography.
Angela Levin, hang on. Angela Levin wrote that. I'm reading it at the moment. We're off to Scotland shortly, and I'm taking it with me to read.
And William, honestly, if they just exposed the grit behind the curtain... You know, what was that film? It was The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
And behind the curtain, it wasn't this big wizard, it was this little bald fat guy. No jokes, please, Nana.
I wasn't going to.
Who was, like, using a generator on a bicycle to power everything. Yeah. I love it all. The more, the better.
But the trouble is, as I think it was Badgett who said, that once you let daylight in upon magic, i.e. on the royal family, the whole thing starts to disintegrate. And I think they are holding it together at the moment, and I think King Charles is doing well, and we've got William and Catherine coming along. Maybe another book from Andrew will just bang some more holes in the magic.
I mean, Diana wrote a book, though. I mean, who else has written a book?
Oh, no, allegedly she wrote a book. She didn't cooperate. No, she didn't cooperate, and she didn't tell all her friends to talk to Andrew more.
What was the 32 grand Indian healer about?
Yeah.
What was all that about?
Well, he was getting paid. His dad or somebody was paying that each year for him to have an Indian healer.
A healer who's Indian? Or a healer who practices in Indian healing?
Both, probably. An Indian person.
A healer who's Indian?
A healer who's Indian, but also practices...
details of whether the healer is Indian
healing
whoever they are, they practice Indian.
Well, Charles would be into that, wouldn't he?
Well, he's cut him off from that. He's not paying for it. He's not having it.
Yeah,
32k.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll tell you what I'd like to see in Andrew's book. I would like to know, and it probably won't appear in the book, is who else was going in and out of Jeffrey Epstein's mansion at the same time? All the rich and powerful men that we actually haven't heard about, which I think is right. Epstein suddenly
but you can't
disappeared, didn't we? We don't think it was
There's a law
suicide.
against that. It's called defamation.
Yes, I know.
You can't just say he and him.
Well, he could say that on that day X was... I'm not going to name anyone, don't worry. He could say on that day also
the publisher
X and Y were there.
No, I know. Because of defamation lawsuits. Not a chance.
I know.
Not a chance.
Unless he could prove it.
But I suspect that his book will be a little bit toxic to some of the bigger publishers. I think that they'll stay away from them. I think there might be smaller ones that would think, oh, well, I'll do this, and they'll take a chance on him. Really? But I think that his name is so sullied with his association with Epstein that a lot of the big ones won't go near him.
Publishers have printed biographies of mass murderers, like IRA terrorists.
Yeah, but when you're going into the realms of that sort of crime, which Andrew has, he's denied all allegations, but it's the association with Jeffrey Epstein, which we know was guilty of these crimes. And I think that if you are associated with that, that's the sort of thing that people...
I think there'd be quite a market for his book. I really do.
So what you're saying is that a publisher will print a book about an IRA terrorist, but not about a prince who's being found guilty of nothing?
Well, no, but it's his association with Jeffrey Epstein, which he acknowledges and admits, and we know that Epstein was done for, abuse, especially of young minors,
trafficking,
minors in particular. And I think that's a real issue.
Well, that was a massive error of judgment.
Yes, it was.
He hasn't ever been convicted of anything wrong or illegal.
That's true, but that doesn't make any difference in terms of the eyes of the public.
If I was a publisher, I'd print it.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
I would.
All right, then you do it. Then Daddy's cars.
Daddy's cars. If he produces the book, two of us will be proved right, one of us will be proved wrong, or the other way around.
But to be fair, and to be honest, I would actually rather read his book than I would spare. I couldn't really spare.
I'm not. Exactly.
I managed to acquire a copy. I wasn't prepared to pay for it, and I kept falling asleep after the first 10 pages. I only got to the bit where he talked about the baldness on the back of his brother's head and the fact that his brother no longer looks as much like Diana as he used to, and I'm like, oh God, I can't take this anymore.
It was so self-centred.
I kept falling asleep.
He remembered the baldness over everything.
Yeah, he just wanted to take a dig in, and they keep doing it.
He was horrible.
But even when Meghan was talking about, I mean, this is not in the book, but when Meghan was talking about that she went over and they're not very huggy, and she talked about Kate, and then she realised that the coldness was not just on the outside; it was also on the inside, and it was like, oh my God,
I still can't believe
everything was a
Californian psycho.
He didn't smack William back. William gave him a dig. This is a former. Was he a Royal Marine or an Anglican or a Welsh regiment? This is a trained killer.
I know.
William smacks him. He smacks his head on the dog bowl, gets up and doesn't give him a dig back.
No, because
craven.
Like, I ate the dog bowl, it's terrible.
Got a headache for the dog bowl.
And then he went to tell us about he killed 25 Taliban.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at killing 25 Taliban, by the way. I'm just laughing at the irony that he's talking about.
Anyway, one vote here for Andrew's book.
And then he's killed a load of people. Well, listen, I'll still buy it. I'll still buy Andrew's book more over his.
You would buy Andrew's book? The guy who you believe is guilty by association?
I don't believe he's guilty by association at all. He's associated with Jeffrey Epstein, but I'm not talking about guilty. I'm just saying that he's associated, and a lot of publishers may well go back.
But you would buy that book?
More so than Spare.
Yeah, also he's been on the planet twice as long, so I have more to tell.
Well, exactly, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a lot of interesting stories.
I think he'd have a lot of interesting stories. But anyway, would you buy the book? I don't know. What do you think? Let us know. GBViews@gbnews.uk or tweet me at GBNews.